Where can you park a tiny house? If you are considering a tiny house, you might be wondering where exactly you can park it. The answer is not as straightforward as you might think. It largely depends on local laws, zoning regulations, and the type of tiny house you have. Let's break it down to help you find the best options. First, tiny houses can be built on wheels, making them mobile, or on permanent foundations. This distinction affects where you can park them. Mobile tiny houses often have more flexibility in parking options, while those on foundations may have stricter regulations. When it comes to legal and zoning considerations, the rules can vary significantly from one area to another. In some places, tiny houses are treated like recreational vehicles, allowing you to park them in RV parks or mobile home communities. In other areas, there are specific zoning laws for accessory dwelling units, which may allow tiny houses as secondary units on residential lots. However, these often come with minimum size requirements. It is essential to check with local zoning and building departments to understand what is permitted in your area. Many municipalities requiring permits for utility hookups and may have restrictions on minimum square footage or chassis requirements. Parking on private land can also be tricky. Often, it is restricted unless your tiny house meets local building codes and zoning rules. Now, let's look at practical parking options. Manufactured home parks or mobile home parks often welcome tiny houses on wheels, especially if they are built on a permanent chassis. RV parks can also be a good option, but some may requiring tiny houses to be on foundations for long-term stays. If you are considering rural or off-grid land, this can be a great choice if zoning allows it. However, you must ensure access to utilities and legal compliance. Temporary parking on private land may be possible with landowner permission, but this may not be legal for permanent residents. From a self-sufficiency perspective, when choosing a parking spot, think about access to water, electricity, and waste disposal. If you plan to live off-grid, consider options like solar power and composting toilets. Security and privacy are also important, especially in remote areas. Make sure the site is accessible year-round and safe from natural hazards. Being aware of local regulations helps you avoid legal issues that could affect your living situation. Planning for mobility can also be beneficial, allowing you to relocate if needed. In summary, you can park a tiny house in manufactured home parks, RV parks, as an accessory dwelling unit on residential lots where allowed, or on private land if zoning permits. Always do your research and secure necessary permits to ensure a smooth living experience.